Oh, there you go on Facebook.
All right, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Shanice M. Wise, and I am a business expansion coach and strategist. And I'm so excited. I'm excited to have one of my amazing clients on here who she's going to share a story and all that good stuff. But her name is Jennifer. And she is the CEO and owner of Jamison Bexley, which is an amazing online boutique for children. She has two beautiful
Thank
children, and her clothes is just absolutely phenomenal. So the reason why I wanted Jennifer to come on and share her story and working with me is to give all of you hope, all of you business owners who are out there and just really trying to figure it out, trying to figure out what's the next step. What do I do? Where do I go? Should I invest in myself? Well, Jennifer is definitely going to share her story. So we're just going to vibe today and just really talk about her journey to get where she is, because she's still doing amazing things. She's still growing. She's still expanding. So we'll go from there. So Jennifer, tell everybody hello.
Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. So tell everyone a little bit about you and a little bit about Jamison Bexley.
Yeah, so I'm a mother of two. Kids' name is Jamison and Bexley. Bexley will be 5 in August. Jamison will be 3 in August. I married, we had our 6-year anniversary this past July, earlier this month. So yes, and then it will be 10 years together total this September. So that's a whole decade of my life. Let's see, I used to work in corporate America, and when the pandemic hit, my mental health was starting to suffer. So I made the choice to leave, and it just happened to happen at the exact same time when the governor shut down all of Ohio. So my last days at work were right before Ohio shut down. And so I chose that time to invest in myself, invest in my mental health, invest in my business. And honestly, I've been thriving ever since.
Yay. That mental health is important, isn't it?
Girl, yes.
Yes. So tell everybody the dynamics of, I really want to talk about this because I'm sure that there are people who this is going to reach, especially business owners. So Jennifer is, her husband is white. Her children are mixed. So in the midst of everything going on and Black Lives Matter and all the protesting, she has to be able to communicate and articulate to her husband how she's feeling. Share with us, the dynamics of your family and what you were able to do during that whole, when rioting first, well, it wasn't rioting, but when everybody was protesting and you as a Black woman and blah blah blah, share with everybody how you coped.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky and fortunate. My husband is amazing. He actually went to Temple University in Philadelphia, so he knows a lot about Black culture. So he's always been my biggest advocate. But when everything was happening with George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, I had to pull him inside and say, you know what, you're privileged that you can go ride your bike down the street head to toe in a hoodie, sweatpants, and you'll make it home to your kids. But your son won't have that same option, won't have that same opportunity. And I think that was when it really hit him. And so just trying to explain to him why I'm angry, why I'm hurting. And now that he has a Black child or Black children, now he's saying something needs to change because he refuses to have his kids be a trending hashtag. And he's going to use his privilege to make sure that that never happens.
That's so awesome. And I know you can speak to so many households who have a melting pot, and especially to children who are mixed. It's well, what do we identify with? Where do we go? What do we do? So that's so awesome that your husband is woke, what everybody is saying, and that he understands that he has privilege and that he can to be a change. Yeah,
exactly.
What are you saying to your little ones? Because, I know that they're little. I know that they're maybe not understanding everything. What are you saying to them?
I mean, it's funny that you asked that. I had the same conversation in the mom group that I'm in. It's like, when I was 5, I was called the N-word, and my parents came from Africa, so they didn't really comprehend what that was, because they didn't have to deal with that where they came from. So my daughter's starting kindergarten, she'll be 5 next month. You know, it's like, I need to give her the heads up of what to expect. But I know the minute I have a conversation with her that some people won't like her based off the color of her skin, I feel like she'll lose all her innocence. Like right now, to my daughter, everyone is happy, everyone is great. Like, people are wearing masks because they have a cough and they don't want to get anyone sick. So she's very, very innocent. And I know I have to have a conversation with her, and it's going to happen. It's just, I want to have her be my little girl for a little bit longer and not have to subject her to the evil of the world, you know? So I'm trying to figure out how to have that talk. I've been doing some research on how to like break it down so she knows that she did nothing wrong. It's just not everyone out there is nice. And so I just, it's hard. It sucks, you know?
It is, because first of all, you are a Black mom, and you have mixed children. So that just puts a whole nother layer on top of what it is that you have to do. So hats off to you, sis.
Oh, thank you.
Hats off to you. Just keep holding it down. So where did Jamison and Bexley start? Like, why did you decide to start this boutique?
I started, well, the idea came to mind when I was pregnant with my son. Back then, so 3 years ago, I had a clothing line called Flip Fashions. I was doing little fashion shows here about Columbus. And, you know, as you know, you have kids, your mindset kind of changes as you have kids to make it more family detailed, family oriented. And I was like, are there any small businesses that are particularly like just like kids clothing in Ohio? And there were like 2 or 3 that I knew of that weren't big box retail, like Children's Place, Gymboree, Baby Gap. But there weren't a lot of small businesses that were for kids clothing. And so that was when I was like, you know what, I could do this. I went to school for this exact thing, fashion and retail management. You know, I have all the tools. I have a lot of connections now in Columbus, you know, and I love kids because I have 2. So, you know, and I love to get them dressed, and I want them to be kids for a little bit longer than, you know, making them grow up too fast. Sure. And so I launched it a month after, I officially launched it on Facebook a month after my son was born. And it's been growing. Like, as he grows, the business grows. So it's pretty cool.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So using what you went to school for and just expanding off of that. So talk to me about, like, where did you see me at? How did you even know who I was?
Oh, my girl, Janita, she has been sending me your lives on Facebook all the time. I keep missing it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to jump onto her Zoom meeting this one time and see, you know, because people, I feel like with this whole pandemic, everyone wants to give advice. And some of it, I'm just like, who are you? You know, like, hold the phone. Who are you? I don't know. This is legit. And it's like, oh, if you pay like $10,000, I'm like, whoa, chill. But then I like, something was like, just log in. Not like I'm going anywhere, you know? So I logged into your Zoom meeting, and I was like, something was just like, it's time to invest in myself. It's time to make that step. If I want to make this, at that point, it was a side hustle, a real business and a real career, I need to invest myself to get those tools. And I was like, if my girl's recommending her, clearly she knows what she's talking about. So I was like, let me just do this.
So tell me, okay, so when you first joined the program, you know, the pandemic hit, you had just kind of, I think we talked right when you walked away, right, from your job. Not walked away, but just kind of transitioned.
It was like a little bit after I walked away, we started talking. So it was like back to back. Yeah.
Back to back. So let's talk about January through April. What were you doing with your business before you came to Shanice's Zoom and heard all about me? What were you doing in your business from January to
looking back now, not a whole lot. I was doing, a lot of my sales, I generate them through pop-up shops. I am great face-to-face, so I would do pop-up shops whenever I had the chance to do it. And so honestly, I want to say I did 1 or 2 pop-up shops from January.
Those were in person, right?
In person, yeah. In person, yeah. Right before COVID shut everything down, I did like max 2 pop-up shops, and that was it. My online sales weren't that great. It would only be great if it was like a returning customer coming to the website. I never really had first-time customers finding me. So it was just, pop-up shops and word of mouth, more or less.
So it was just like a hobby for it. Would you say hobby, side hustle? There's so many categories that.
Yeah, I guess since I was working full-time, they would label it as like a side hustle.
Side hustle. Okay.
Yeah.
So then so between that January, April, side hustle, you made about 1,800, not enough to really sustain you or your family, but you were doing your thing. Okay.
Right.
So then you decide to step out on faith, Jennifer, and join my VIP day program. And the program that Jennifer was a part of is a 45-day program that I hold. I have a couple different programs. I have a program that's a 12-month program, and that's for established business owners that are expanding and growing and all that good stuff. And then my 45-day VIP day program is still for established business owners, but we just kind of really focus on one branch of business. So you step on faith, you join my VIP day program. Share with everyone what's next. Like after you join the program, what was next?
Well, the first thing that we focused on that you actually took a little more time to get it through my head was that I had to get that imposter syndrome out of my mindset. It's the whole thinking, who am I to do this? Who makes me eligible to talk about this or to sell that? And that was something that I still deal with, but I can recognize it now and say, pause, you can do this. No, like you have the power to do this. And so we talked about that. We tried to minimize that, knowing that I am myself a brand, which I never realized. Like people kept saying that to me, but I didn't fully comprehend what they meant by that. But you broke it down to like, you are a brand, like you are the top of like the pyramid and you have all these different branches coming out. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And based off of that, which I don't know, I guess I know why I didn't do it for the imposter syndrome, but I started to share my business on my personal page where I didn't do so before. And because of that, I saw a lot more sales coming through. And I'm like, oh, y'all do care. Y'all do want to see my business. You do want to hear what I have to say. Like, oh, if I would have known that, would have done it years ago.
Well, the imposter syndrome, that is first of all, it's mental, that's all about our mental health and knowing who we are, who we be. But the imposter syndrome has taken a lot of people out because you have this gift, but you're afraid of what people are going to say, how they're going to look at you. If someone else is doing what you're doing, is she happy? And like it's that whole, the God on one shoulder, the enemy on the other shoulder. Yeah, the devil on the other shoulder. And it's just like going back and forth for you. What was the biggest turning point where you were like, you know what, Shanice is right. I'm supposed to be exactly where I'm at. What was it that made you say, bump everything else? I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to serve people. I'm going to take care of my family. And I'm going to blow this boutique and eventually start the other stuff that we talked about.
Yeah.
What was it that you was like, I'm over everybody else. Let me do my thing.
It was like I did an IGTV on my personal Instagram account, and people that I didn't really talk to on a daily basis were saying, you're saying things that I've been thinking this whole entire time, and you're speaking truth to me, and I thank you for speaking your truth. And I'm like, oh. And that one I was just like, so I have things to say. People are thinking it, but they're too scared to say it. And I'm not that fearful. So I'm like, I'm just going to start saying it. And then I'm going to start promoting myself. And now I have people that are saying, because you're promoting yourself, your business on your page, that gave me the energy to do the same thing with my business. And now they're seeing that because they're promoting themselves on their personal page with their businesses, they're seeing that influx of sales or like that support. And they're like, because you spoke your truth, Jennifer, now I can do it too. And I thank you. And that was just like, I got to keep doing this, not just for me now, because now people who follow me are learning from me, from what I'm doing, and they're doing it, and it's working great.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, Jennifer, share with everyone, what are some systems that we created to really help your business turn the circle, because like you turn the circle, you turn the corner, and it was like, watch
Boom.
out, everybody, boom. And money was
Seriously.
just like flowing in for you. So, one of the things for everyone listening who's a business owner, there's a lot of times you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, just not enough of it, or there's some systems inside of your business that just need to be fixed. They need to be enhanced. So what were some things, share with everybody some things that we focused on the inside of your business, the back end, of your office that we needed to get in order for you to really get your business up and flourishing?
The first thing, which is the biggest thing that no one even really realized, and you brought the idea to me, was taking my in-person pop-up shops virtually, which it never came to mind to think that I could easily do it online. I don't need to see them face to face. I can see them face to face through an iPad. And I tell people now, I'm like, dude, take that virtually. You can still do your business, just do it virtually. And I've had so many sales from doing virtual pop-up shops, because people can now shop from the comfort of their own home. They don't have to worry about wearing a mask. They don't have to worry about leaving their house. And you can talk to me still, like you're right in front of me. I can describe you the outfit like verbatim, or how it's going to feel, how it's going to fit, how to take care of it. And you can make that deeper connection with me. And then they tell their friends. And I know the first one I did, there was a lot of people that I knew there, but the more pop-up shops that I do virtually, less and less people that I know personally, and more, it's new people coming in, new clients, new customers, and I'm loving it. The next thing we did was, we used to send out one newsletter a month, and you're just like, why? And I was like, I don't want to bombard them. But you also told me, like, JCPenney sending you emails, like, how many times a day? And I was like, true. So now I'm doing newsletters once a week, and I can see that people who are starting to open my newsletters more and more and more, because they're getting it more consistently. Where before it was like once a month, like, oh, who's this again? They think it's spam, and they go and unsubscribe. So that's another big thing as well.
I love it. That's really good. And when we don't know where our world is going, we don't know where the pandemic is taking us. We're still in the first wave, and everybody keeps saying second wave. I'm like, no, boo. No. We're still in the first wave, and the numbers are increasing. So we don't know where we will be at. And for me, it was really important for me to teach business owners how to not allow their business to just fall through. Like, when there is a will, there's a way. And if you trust God and believe him, and I'm not saying all religious, I'm just saying spiritually, you trust him, then you have to understand that there are other opportunities for your business to expand.
Exactly.
That's why my title is what it is, right? So we took a look at everything that Jennifer had going on. And I wanted her to see that she could make the money. I also wanted her to see that there was a demand. Like, when I went to her website, I'm like, Jen, this is amazing. Like, just the whole presentation, the layout. So she was already in business. She just needed a tour guide. She needed me to step in and say, you need to work on this, fix this. And she was a sponge. And I appreciate it, because it allowed me to know what I was sharing with her was working. She was a great student. In order to become an amazing leader, you have to be a great student first. And Jennifer, you were absolutely phenomenal, and I'm excited. I can't wait for you to join my 12-month program. And like, you like, Jen!
I'm like, I'm coming.
And every level is a level of stepping out on faith, and I get it. And I slow walk my business owners. I don't go anywhere. I check on them. All that good stuff. But that's what I saw Jennifer do. It was just like every step, she took a higher step. She took a higher step. And I made her see herself for who she was. And now, y'all, so from January to April, she made about $1,800. But when she joined my program, April, towards the end of April, early May, in 5 weeks, she made almost 6,000, Jen. Mm-hmm. And her pop-up shops are flourishing, and there's so much more that I want to do with her. And I'm excited because I know we'll be able to do it. But we're building her tree. We're building her tree. And one of the things that, you know, my clients will realize is I teach them the whole tree analogy and how you can develop all these branches that feed into your main business. And that's our next step in Jennifer's journey, you know, and I'm really, really excited about it. So tell everybody what's going on now, Jen. So
I'm doing these little videos. Okay, not little. I'm doing these amazing videos. See, I
Thank
myself
you.
there. on YouTube and on my Instagram. I call it like the real life struggles, and I go through different topics. Like right now, I'm about to record one after this about mental health and how to navigate that. And, you know, and again, like I'm not a psychiatrist. I didn't study mental health, but I can only tell you what worked for me and how to navigate your mental health in this time where, I mean, if you're like me, I'm very extroverted. I feed off of people's energy. So having to be stuck in the house at first was very, very rough. I'm like, I need to go see someone. I can't leave my house because there's a whole like war with germs outside, you know? So like trying to figure out how I can still be myself, how to still get that energy from people that I used to, but still be safe with my, you know, from this COVID with my kids, and how that's worked for me. And just want to talk about that and those steps and what you can do. That way you can like not pass mental health issues down to your kids, you know, boost them up from the beginning, like, be like their biggest supporter and such.
You know, I'm excited to build that branch of your business. I'm really excited to expand that. I see so many great things coming that way. And y'all, I just believe in making sure as a business owner, you don't just focus on one branch. You use your gifts. You know, the Bible says your gifts will make room for you and bring you before great men. And your gifts were not given to you. And I always say this, for you, but they're for other people. So now Jennifer is expanding. Check this out. She's expanding and using her gifts in a different way, but it will all still connect back to Jamison and Bexley, which is really, really exciting. And it'll give her the opportunity to be able to share vocally who she is, what she does, and how she can help other moms, how she can help, you know, other women in mixed marriages and with mixed, I mean, it's a whole nother niche, but it still goes back to what it is that she started to do, you know, with Jamison and Bexley. So when's your next pop-up shop? Talk to us about that. So put the date out there so everybody knows to join and where they can go and all that good stuff.
It's going to be on August 7th. It's going to be on a Friday night. It'll be from 6 to 8. There is if you go to Jamison and Bexley, the Facebook page, you should see it as one of our events. So go ahead and say you're going to go on Eventbrite and register. The first 20 people who register get a chance to win a gift card. And I'm giving out money, you know, I got to let them know. And I'm actually doing it. This one I'm doing it with another small business owner who does kids clothing as well. So it's my first time I'm doing a collaborative virtual shop. So it'll be 2 different businesses, one night. You can shop both brands. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that sounds like it. So what's the date again?
August 7th.
August 7th. So if anybody who's watching, you know, please give us some thumbs up, some hearts, you know, whatever questions that you have for Jennifer, please do so. And then make sure you remember August 7th, right, Jen?
Yep.
And Jamison and Bexley, if you look in the description, I added it in the description. So you can just click on it and you can go follow her page. So Jennifer, what are 4 things that you want to leave with the business owners who are watching? What are 4 tips that you want to leave with them that you have learned and developed throughout working with me that is very important to the success of their business?
The first one will be, don't give up. There may be other people that are doing selling the same items as you, but there's only one you. So even though they're selling the exact same thing, but the way you sell it may be different than the way they sell it. So don't give up because you see someone else selling something that you're selling. Invest in yourself, because you need to it's always re-educating yourself, always trying to build yourself up, and have that coach to kind of be your biggest cheerleader. I know multiple times that I'll talk to you and I'm like, this is what I needed to hear right now. And you just like refuel me. And I'm like, all right, now I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So it's nice to have you, you know, in my corner. Just network, meet other people that are out there. It's good to have, you know, I have multiple different friends, but it's nice to have friends that are also moms that also have their own businesses. So they know if my struggle, like, oh, I want to do this, but you know, the kids are doing that. It's nice to have that community that you can have that support system with other mompreneurs. And then lastly is, I'm trying to think how to word this.
Give it to them raw.
Like, you are good enough. Don't think that you're not. Don't think that because you're not college educated, or because you worked in a restaurant for 10 years that you can't start your own food truck, or you can't start your own boutique. You're good enough. There's people out here who don't have a college degree that are thriving. And there's so many YouTube videos that you can easily learn how to do anything and everything. And Google is your friend. So like, just, you're good enough, and just keep reminding yourself that you're good enough. I have a post-it on my desk that says, you are good enough. Whenever I feel like I'm not, I look, I'm like, I am good enough. I can do this. And I just keep moving.
You know, and that's motivation. I love those. I just posted them. Motivation comes from within. And you have to, as a business owner, especially every new step that you take into the unknown, you have to definitely motivate yourself. So what's next for Jamison and Bexley? And then what's next for Jennifer?
Next,
what should we be looking for?
Okay, well, I'm going to be ordering a bunch of new fall merchandise for Jamison and Bexley after we get off of this call today. So that should be coming in mid-August, end of August, if fall weather ever arrives. Of course, Ohio, you don't know what you're going to get. It might be 100 degrees or it might be snowing. We don't know. And then just keep looking for, you know, those virtual pop-up shops. I don't see COVID going away anytime soon. So I may just increase pop-up shops from like once a month to maybe like every other bi-weekly, twice a month, just to get things out there. And what's new for Jennifer is I'm going to start a masterclass about, you know, being in an interracial marriage in this time and how to navigate those hard conversations with your spouse who's not the same color as you, and how to talk with your child about racism in today's world, of, you know, about what to do if something were to happen, someone says something bad to you, how to react to that, and create a sense of community for interracial couples that can, you know, talk about their struggles right now and know that they're not alone, and there's other people out there dealing with the exact same things they're dealing with.
I love it. I love it. Well, Jennifer, your future is so bright. And I am so grateful that the Lord saw fit to connect us. And I just know our relationship is going to continue to grow. And I'm just excited about the businesswoman that you are and the businesswoman that you are becoming as you continue to expand and to serve your community. So I'm so blessed to know you. I'm excited. I see Jamison and Bexley and no, did I say it right?
You said it right. Jamison and Bexley.
I'm like, okay, did you get it right? I see it global. Like I see your boutique expanding far beyond what it is that you had even thought of where it could be. I do. So, you know, if I was to say anything to you, just keep being you, keep growing, keep investing in yourself. Don't allow fear to get in your way. You know, because as soon as you step out on faith, I just believe it in my heart of hearts that God will shift the universe in your favor, because he already did it once. He already did it once, you know, so now it's time. Honestly, it's time for you to end this year at 6 figures. You've seen in 5 weeks that you could make almost $6,000. So that's just the beginning. It's time for us to get you to a place where it's 20,000, 30,000 a month. So go there.
It's crazy because I was watching, like, I check my analytics like every other day, and I remember the exact moment when I beat my last year's sales. So like I've already surpassed what I made last year in July, and I've already went over $10,000 this year, and I'm just like, I remember I sat there and I'm just like, holy crap, like I should be jumping up and down. I should be like popping champagne bottles. And I was just like, I want to keep doing this. This is great. This is it. That was when I proved myself that like, this isn't a hobby. This isn't a side hustle. This is now a business. And I proved myself as a business. And now I want to keep that same energy for the rest of the year and for future years to come.
It is a business.
Yeah.
Miranda said, "You go, girl." She said, she said, "I needed that." She said, "I needed that." But it is a business, and you are the head honcho. You are the CEO. So I no longer want you to look at this as a hustle. You are not hustling. This is your bread. This is your butter. This is your business. So Jennifer, I'm excited. Everybody, make sure that you go follow her page, leave a comment, share it, share it, share it, share it, share it, because I know that her message today, it not only blessed me, but I know that it will bless the people that you know as well. So Jennifer, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. I so adore you. And I'm excited, excited, excited. And everyone who joined in today during this hour, thank you for joining in. And, again, our goal is to give you hope. And my name again is Shanice Wise, and I am a business expansion coach and strategist. So as you heard today, I teach business owners how to expand off of what they already have, how to grow, how to, just become exactly what it is that I believe in, prayerfully they do, that God wants them to become. So if you're interested in connecting with me, just send me a DM. Just send me a DM. If you want to learn more about Jennifer's, her mother's group that she's creating, send her a DM, because eventually it's going to be a membership program. So make sure you join it now, before there's, any price to it, So at the end of the day, we're grateful, thankful. Jennifer, I love you.
Love
Everybody else,
you.
love you all. Thanks for joining, and have an amazing God-inspired day today. Peace.
Bye.